If this message reaches you, it is meant for you. For anyone seeking inner peace today, you are not the mind. Listen. There comes a moment in every life, especially after 50, when the noise of the world finally softens. The ambitions calm down, and we sit quietly with a question we once avoided. What is all this really about? Not the roles we played, not the responsibilities we carried, not the successes or disappointments, but this, the experience of being alive. The pain, the beauty, the losses, the love, the silence, the searching. And if you're listening to this now, you already know something younger years never teach. Life is not a straight line, it's a circle. Everything comes back. Every emotion you buried eventually rises. Every lesson you ignored returns with new clarity. Every joy and every heartbreak becomes a teacher. And the questions you once pushed aside quietly knock at your door again. It is in this stage of life, when the world becomes quieter, when your own presence becomes louder, that the teachings of the great masters begin to finally make sense. Buddha, Christ, Lao Tzu, Ramana Maharshi, Rumi, the sages of the Upanishads. Different continents, different languages, different eras. Yet all of them, in their own way, were pointing to the same realization. You are not separate. You are not the mind. Peace is already within you. But why didn't we understand this earlier? Why does this truth reveal itself only later in life? Because when we were younger, the noise was too loud. The responsibilities too heavy. The expectations too overwhelming. We were trying to become something. Trying to prove something. Trying to earn love, respect, stability, identity. We believed peace was something we would reach someday, far in the future, after achieving enough, becoming enough, surviving enough. But peace was never in the future. It was always beneath the surface of this moment. And now you're finally ready to hear it. You see, every great master tried to tell us that what we seek is not somewhere far away, not hidden in the next achievement or the next relationship or the next spiritual technique. Peace is not a destination. It is the natural state beneath the noise of the mind. Christ said, "The kingdom of heaven is within you." Buddha said, "Be a light unto yourself." Ramana said, "The self is not something to find, it is what remains when illusions fade." Lao Tzu said, "Return to your original nature." We heard the words, but we didn't truly hear them. Let me share a simple example. Eleanor, 62 years old, had spent her entire life caring for others, her children, her husband, her aging parents. She lived with constant tension, always afraid she might fail someone. One morning she read a line from Ramana. The mind turned outward becomes the world. The mind turned inward becomes peace. She didn't understand it, but she tried something different. She made her morning coffee and, instead of rushing through it, she sat quietly. She watched the sunlight touch her kitchen counter. She felt the warmth of the mug in her hands. She listened to the hum of the refrigerator. And for the first time in a long time, something inside her softened. She realized that nothing was missing. She had simply been moving too fast to feel her own life. This is what the masters meant. Peace is not created. It is revealed. Another universal teaching from every tradition is this: you are not the mind. You are the awareness that sees the mind. Christ said, "Be in the world, but not of it." Buddha said, "Observe the mind like a passing cloud." Ramana said, "Ask, who is thinking this thought?" The Taoist said, "The sage sees without looking." Even neuroscience today says the same thing. Your thoughts are not who you are. They are patterns arising and fading in the brain. And yet, most of your life, you believe them. I am anxious. I am angry. I am broken. I am not enough. But these were not truths. They were thoughts. You are not the storm. You are the sky that holds the storm. Let me share Samuel's story. At 71, he told me something beautiful. He said, I realized at 70 what I should have learned at 20, but maybe 70 was the perfect time. He had spent decades caught in overthinking, replaying every mistake, imagining every worst-case scenario. One night, desperate to quiet his mind, he tried a Zen instruction he once dismissed. Watch your thoughts like a bird watching the sky. And for the first time, he noticed something extraordinary. His thoughts came and went, but he remained. His awareness didn't move. It didn't get anxious. It didn't get afraid. It simply observed. That night he discovered a part of himself that had been prisoned his entire life. This is what every master was pointing to. You are the awareness, not the thinking. Another truth echoed through all traditions is that suffering arises not from pain, but from resistance to pain. Buddha said, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Christ said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Lao Tzu said, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Rumi said, the cure for the pain is in the pain. But what does this mean? Maria, 59, lost her husband after years of illness. She tried to be strong, to stay busy, to outrun the grief. But grief is not a punishment, it is love trying to find its new form. One day she read Rumi's line, the cure for the pain is in the pain. For the first time she allowed herself to cry without stopping it. She let the sadness move through her. And instead of breaking, she felt something inside her finally beginning to heal. Every master knew this. Suffering is not the emotion itself. It is the refusal to feel the emotion. Healing happens the moment we stop fighting reality. And then comes a deeper realization, one that only becomes clearer with age. You are not separate. Christ said, I and the Father are one. Buddha said, all beings are. Ramana said, there is no other. The Tao says, all is one process. Quantum physics now points to the same truth. Everything is connected in one field of energy. When you were younger, you felt separate. You believed you were alone in your struggles, alone in your hopes. But as life matures you, the ego softens. You begin to feel the invisible threads connecting everything. Harold, 68, felt lonely after his divorce and after his children moved away. He believed life was happening without him. But he began walking in the same park every morning. Soon he noticed the patterns of life around him, the same lady feeding the birds, the same man walking his dog, the same couple sitting under a tree, the same sunrise touching everyone alike, and slowly he realized he wasn't alone. He was part of a living tapestry. The trees, he said, became his teachers. They belonged to no one, yet gave shade to everyone. And finally comes the greatest truth. What you have been searching for all your life has always been within you. Christ called it the Father within. Buddha called it your original nature. Ramana called it the Self. Rumi called it the Beloved. Lao Tzu called it the Tao. But all of them were pointing to the same recognition. You do not become awakened, you remember who you already are. Everything you've been looking for, peace, acceptance, meaning, love, wholeness, is not in the future. It is in the awareness hearing these words right now. The same awareness that looked through your eyes at 15 is looking through your eyes today. Your body has aged, your mind has changed, your life has evolved, but the awareness within you has not aged at all. You were never broken. You were never separate. You were simply looking outward when the truth was inward. This is why every great master said the same thing, but we never heard it. Because we were listening with our mind, not our being. The truth is simple. The mind is complicated. Peace comes when resistance ends. Healing comes when acceptance begins. Love comes when the walls fall. Meaning comes when presence deepens. And life becomes whole when you finally realize nothing was missing. And if something inside you feels warm right now, if a quiet voice inside you is whispering, yes, this is what I've known deep down but never had words for, then breathe. This is remembrance, and when you're ready, subscribe to this channel. Not out of pressure, but out of connection. So we can continue this journey together, slowly, gently, deeply. Part 2 will take you even further. You are not alone. You are not late. You are exactly where life wanted you to be. Be still and know